one, make up the other one, bring up the other one. Progressively, you will see that you will not suffer loss along the value chain. Okay? Include possible inclusions, improving unrecognizable products offered by successful competitions. Time limited. Without a time limit, you can't have the right sense of urgency. The knowledge about what you need to do and when. The right sense of urgency comes from timing. What is happening now in Akwa Ibom State? The demographic of our youth, the percentage of our youth, unemployed youth, and dislocated youth by reason of politics. You know, in my local government, I have some guys that I have a BA, the guy has another BA to BA, A, B, B, B. So it becomes BAs. Long list of guys. And when I get to the community, I say, hey, come, break that link. Please, give me money. Can you give me 500,000? So let me give you what is more than 500,000. What is your talent? What do you like me? And we are breaking the cycle progressively. No, some of them don't even want to go to local government again to sit with the chairman because they will go and grab the office chair. From morning till night, the chair will at the end give them 500 naira transport home. Graduates. What did you study? English. Yet once right sentence, an English graduate can't write. Embarrassment. The last one is that you have to grow your entrepreneurial survival skill. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to what? To what? Say it loud. To what? Yes. So what is innovation? Simply put, new ways to make work easier, products better, move faster, make better use of resources to outpace and outperform the competition while providing better overall what? Better overall what? Customer service. That's innovation in this forum and for this forum. Number one, you must focus on products, not sell. The only sustainable growth is viral growth. What does that mean? Escalated growth. Something that you do that everybody will want it. If you want to do something like that guy asked the question, I said, look, you want to exit a job and get into another market. There are modalities for market entry, market penetration. There are some things about market penetration. You don't ambush a market. You just start, but we introduce one thing step by step and see the reaction and the response of your to-be customers. And if you want to create a viral growth, do something that is different. All right? Do something that is different. You get the best value. Number two, work must be done where you get the best value. Your success is determined by the speed of creativity and the new customer created, what we call benefit per cost. What kind of customers do you have? I've been doing business, so what kind of customers do you have? For how long have you had them? And how much have you received from the sales? New products or services. Creating new products, services is the survival skill in this generation. Innovate or you die. That's just it. Innovate or you do what? Die. So if you want to follow the commonalities, continue. But if you want to make a difference, do it. I think this is the first hotel in this apartment. I don't know. I've not seen anything, but this is the first apartment. All right, and it is good. That's part of the thing, and I know you're going to do a new one. Do something different again because it's progressive. It's a progressive knowledge, and it has the tenacity in it, and it has the passion for it. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to say to the governor. Keep your creative ground. Keep it. Sustain innovation and creativity in your everyday work. Sustain it. Now, I want to give you this, show this case study. I've left that discussions. I want to show this case study. This is QC International, a Canada project. The overall goal of the 5-year Canadian $15.5 million Canadian dollars youth leadership entrepreneurship sales development ULEAD project is to promote employment and entrepreneurship in young women and men in the natural resource sectors of agriculture, forestry. This is Cuso vision. It's working right now in Cross-River State. Forestry, ecotourism, and aquaculture in all the 18 local government areas in Cross-River State. In line with the Cross-River State government comprehensive vision to address high unemployment, rural urban drift of young women and men in priority sectors which promote sustainable economic growth. The project aims to reduce unemployment by improving entrepreneurial and labor force capacities of young women and men, as well as policies, regulations, and enabling environment required to create jobs and economic opportunities in natural resources. This is achievable in two ways. First, through capacity building of partners and stakeholders. Cross-River State ministries, the departments and agencies, CSOs, training organizations, and youth resource centers, the EDCs, to deliver skill training in entrepreneurship as well as support young women and men entrepreneurs through improved financial services and products. And secondly, through strengthening the policy framework and collaboration on promoting green jobs in the green economy. ULEAD would provide, number one, technical assistance using Canadian and Nigerian professionals and work with local partners, state government, business and financial services providers, youth resource centers and training organizations to support natural resource value chain. We provide access to markets, identify alternative and additional business opportunities, agro processors, build the capacities of micro and small enterprises to scale up and ensure fair process and better working conditions for young women and men, while ensuring that the appropriate policies and enabling environment is established. ULEAD will also improve enabling environment, improve access to youth-friendly and gender-responsive financial services, products for young entrepreneurs. That efforts will be made to ensure viable linkages between youth resource centers, technical training institutions, and financial service providers, implementing partners. QSO International from Canada, Millionaire Economic Development Associates Canada, Nigerian Environmental Study Action and Development. Now, Akwa Ibom, this is. Let me tell you about that in a nutshell before I come to this. That program is working across the state. It is. We have gone through all the 18 local government, mobilized farmers in 2 communities, the poultry and the aquaculture. Livestock and aquaculture. Now, we take people from different communities, build them into clusters and cooperatives, and then move them into training centers. We have training groups that comes across the state government, from EDCs, entrepreneurial development centers, and all of that. Put them together, develop plan that these monies will be given to prospective farmers, and after they are farming, there's market for them. All right. Are you following me? Yes. Now, this program is working in Cross-River State. We had beneficiaries that we took for farm visit. We visited Biker farms a month ago. We took them to Biker farm to visit and see what Biker farm is really doing. It's an integrated farm. Biker farm is an integrated farm. And so we went through all of that. Today, about 50% of these guys are enjoying out of this money and they're doing business. Now, to make that happen in Akwa Ibom State, I sat back and developed, I call it Development Plan 1, what I call Akwa Ibom Young Entrepreneurs Course, discovering young men and women entrepreneurs. We're going to read this together so that you see what Royal Group is going to do in the next 1 month, because after this meeting, we must sustain the dynamics of the developing the youth. And so we cannot just do it without the contributions of technical support from groups, individuals, and societies. And so I decided to put this up for Royalty Group. I said the AIYEC is implementing the Discovering Youth, Young Men and Women Entrepreneurship. That's what we call DYMW program. A training and business development and youth empowerment program in Akwa Ibom State in collaboration with the Royalty Group, Nigerian-based organization. The objective of the program is to empower 200 of Akwa Ibomites, young men and women, to increase entrepreneurial capacity, job creation, revenue generation, to further the state's economic recovery. The training program will work in several stages. In the first stage, 200 men and women will receive level 1 entrepreneurship training over 5 days. At the end of this, each takes an entrepreneurial business school test, what we call EBS, and write a concept paper on their business. What you want, kind of business you want to do, you must develop a concept paper after that training. And so, yeah, the top 100 participants to receive high ranks according to the scores of the concept papers and EFPL tests are selected to do a 4-minute business pitch to a panel of judges. Based on presentation, originality, social impact, and feasibility of the idea, a panel of judges will select 50 of them to participate in the level 2 training, which is a much more extensive 7-week program covering a range of business development topics. This includes marketing, ICT, using Intel's Easy Steps program. That's what we're using in UNIDO for technical support, the Intel. Okay, and finance and customer care, to name a few. It also includes mentoring workshops where the entrepreneurs participate in peer mentoring sessions to discuss challenges and solutions to common business challenges, as well as linkages with local financial institutions. Participants of this level, of the level 2 training, are enrolled in the, this is where we're going to be, all of these banks I've mentioned, inclusive of even the, they have training schools for entrepreneurs. Most of even training banks, I think they have training courses for entrepreneurs. So online, they always have the online platform where they become part of the network of entrepreneurs and are able to seek business advice from fellow entrepreneurs and access local business resources. Once the level 2 training is complete, the 50 participants present their final business plans, and 20 winners are selected based on feasibility and strength of their business plans. These 20 winners receive cash prizes ranging from 1 million to 5 million, and one-on-one business mentoring from experienced acquired entrepreneurs to help them launch new businesses or expand their existing small enterprises. Other meeting criteria for sex and age participants must be between 18 and 35 years of age. I think that's the benchmark. All right. So of age 3 are no other than criteria applied to the registration process. Outreach for the program will be done primarily by Royalty Group through a large-scale production campaign, which includes posters, flyers, and all of that. AIYEC is using this to take our young people out of the streets, create jobs, and build our cities again in the economic plan. Economic competitiveness and success, social responsibility. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow, that was great. Did we enjoy that session?
Yes, sir.
Then let's give a good hand of applause to Doctor. Doctor, thank you very much. That was powerful. And to introduce the discussants for the next session, we'll invite the Governor CEO back on stage again to do that for us. Let's give a hand of applause to him.
Please let's put our hands together for Dr. Abasia Kari. He's really done the work of a research fellow. Wow, we're getting into some practical sessions now. And you know, when we started Driven, we didn't know this was going to be bigger than us. And anyway, you need to get something that is bigger than you. But we trust God for help, that as we move forward, we'll be able to do something more. My prayer is that next year when we're gathered, or at any other time, we'll be able to say, some people will be able to come with testimonies that this event affected them. To do a 15-minute discuss on this topic, and then help us before we take our lunch and come back for the closing parts, will be a man that has his impact in the state. He's made such an enormous contribution while he was in government, and he will lead this session of discussion. Please help me make welcome Elder Namso Mori. Though retired, but he's not tired, still doing all he can. Please let's clap until he gets here. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you so much. That's good. That's determination. Amen. We have one of our guest pastors that is visiting from the United States, and I'd like him to also be part of this discussion, the panel, so he can also give us his view from the United States perspective. Out of Ohio State in the US, we welcome Pastor Brandon Joshua Gray. And of course, we have I always like to add spiritual angle to it. So please let's make welcome my spiritual father, Reverend Simeon Afolabi, to be on the panel. We're blessed to have the Chief Executive Officer of Capital Bridge. You see, and by the way, once we get into the next session, we'll give all these people a platform, maybe 5 minutes, just to tell us about themselves. Put our hands together for Mr. Francis Gerald. Just have 15 minutes, we can set the ball rolling and just discuss the paper in the way you understand it and how we can benefit from it. And then we'll take just 4 questions so we can have lunch. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I feel privileged to be given this responsibility, which has come as a surprise. The paper that has been given to us is a basic need for this environment, and I want to congratulate the young man who has done this work. He has given us practical insights. He's also told us some theories, some issues about entrepreneurship, and it shows that he has been involved in it day and night. And you can see the passion with which he presented his paper. However, I am surprised that I am made the chairman of this session because I was in and out of the paper. But I know that he told us about knowledge. He told us about knowledge. That knowledge is what you, an individual or a group, understands about bringing out a value for either individual benefit or the benefit of the group. So, which means that you must have knowledge of the area that you want to go into. And he talked much about the young man who talked about leaving his job to go and do business. And he emphasized that you cannot go into business when you don't have an insight, when you do not have passion, when you do not have interest, when you do not have background in that area. He also talked about the SMART goal, that you must set a SMART goal, which must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be accessible, achievable, and it must be time bound. So you clearly identify the indices that you require in those SMART values of the SMART goals. He also emphasized the question of discipline, that if you're not disciplined, you cannot engage in business because you will not succeed. So he re-echoed the question of integrity, which the keynote speaker did emphasize also, that you have to be disciplined. And you discipline yourself by the way you handle your activities in the business. And he talked about the importance of character in doing business. Because if you don't have character, you cannot be funded. People must know what you stand for. He talked about our deciding who our friends are, and choosing our friends on the basis of what we believe, and those who add value to us or not. I personally remember that when I was growing up, one of my passions was to learn and know the English language effectively. Although I had a challenge, I did not have the privilege of going through a secondary education. From my primary education level, I became a Kenobo. So I had no chance of acquiring academic education. But I was interested in knowing English language, so I had to daily make use of my uncle's transistor radio by listening to BBC at 5 a.m. in the morning to hear the way Bushman casting news. Again, I made people who spoke well my friends, whether he was a bigger person or a younger person than I was. And so that encouraged me. Although I was called names, I was called Makaraboripa. You know what it means. But I took interest in it. And so by the grace of God, it's a story for another day. I was privileged to become a journalist from the desk of a typist, a daily paid typist. And I was also privileged to go to school, do mass communication at the Polytechnic Calabar, and later had the opportunity of doing communication arts at the University of Uyo while working in government. Today, I'm retired as a permanent secretary. I have written speeches for 6 governors of this state, and I have the luck of being involved in a number of government documentations for the state. So today I teach communication a little more than entrepreneurship. So distinguished gentlemen, we must look at the question of the value of knowledge in deciding to go into a particular business. I may not easily recognize your names, I may remember your names, so I will indicate to you what is your tip about the value of knowledge in going into a business.
Thank you very much. I want to first and foremost thank the Governor of Realty Group for this opportunity. This is a platform that every young person needs. I wouldn't have thought that I would be here today, but I'm here because some few years ago I took a decision to veer into entrepreneurship. It's actually very rare in this environment. I'm from here, I'm from this city, and started off with no knowledge actually. And I've always had this dream of running a financial institution, actually setting up a bank. But unfortunately, before this time, I had no banking experience. I had no work experience. In fact, while I set up Capital Bridge, I was still a student running a part-time program. And of course, there was no knowledge, there was no experience, and it was crazy. Everybody thought this guy is crazy. My father, my mom thought I was crazy. And everybody would say, why not concentrate and finish your school before you start a business? And seriously, I didn't know. I think I was divinely pushed. And I started off in 2010, and then 4 months later, the business crashed. Now, I'm trying to say this, I'm trying to give you this story so you understand the place of knowledge in starting a business. It's not just enough to have an idea and have a passion to push through, or you need knowledge. And so 4 months later, the business crashed. So I went back. I was ashamed. Everybody was laughing at me. My friends, everybody, you know, of course, people will always be waiting for you to fail. So when the failure set in, I had to go back to the drawing board, and I began to